Hello, everybody. It's good to be here with you. It is Monday, April 14th, and we are back for a complete meditation. Sorry that I was unable to really do this the way that we've become accustomed to doing it last week. That was because, as I mentioned, I was on the road. I was traveling. Um, but in any event, it is really great to be back here with you again. So, um, I should also say Happy Pesach and second day today. So, let's get started here. Whenever you are accessing this, whether it's now in real time or whether it is later today or tomorrow or even later in the week, it's good to have you here. And I am definitely, I don't know what's going on with my desk chair here in the rabbi study at FJC, but I'm going to get myself as comfortable as I can be. And I want to commend you to do the same. Um, get yourself settled in your chair, and you might bring into this time that we're going to share together today the kavanah, this lovely Hebrew word for the intention or direction. The kavanah that this time could be a gift and a blessing that you give yourself, and that you might just be able to accept this experience exactly as it is without any harsh judgment of yourself or of this practice. Just let yourself be for this brief space of time that we're going to spend together. And you might, if you're comfortable doing so at this time, just allow your eyes to be softly and gently closed. Sitting here, allow yourself to be still and at ease. And without pushing anything away, just let what other thoughts or feelings come up. Let them just pass on by without giving them any particular attention. You might even imagine that you are lying warmed by the sun on this beautiful day on the grass, and that you can see clouds passing through the sky. And let whatever thoughts come up during this time be like those clouds. The Hebrew word is anavim, that pass slowly across your field of vision. And just as you would not attach to a particular cloud or judge it or evaluate it, same with these thoughts. There's no need to give them any particular attention or energy. Just let them be. Or let them be like the Malache Elohim, those angels of the Eternal One in Jacob's famous dream from Bereshit, from the book of Genesis in the Torah. Jacob dreams of a ladder, a sulam, a ladder or a ramp extending up into heaven. And the text tells us, Malache Elohim olim v'yordim bo, that angels or messengers of God, the word is the same, angels or messengers of God are ascending and descending. So when a thought or a memory or a story or a judgment comes up as you sit, let it be like one of those malachim, one of those angels coming up into view, ascending, olim, and then your deem, and then going back again, descending out of your view. There are reasons that we'll explore in a little bit today. We're going to focus our meditation on the Hebrew word and the idea of what is called chesed. Chesed is often translated as loving kindness. Sometimes it is simply understood to be love, although there is a different word for love. That word is ahava. Chesed is called loving kindness because it is not a feeling. Chesed is not primarily an emotion. Chesed is a behavior or a set of behaviors. Think of the lengths that you would go to serve or comfort or meet the needs of someone that you love. How you would respond in action to their distress or other acts that you would willingly engage in to help or sustain this beloved person. And that is what chesed is. Chesed is the way that we act towards someone that we love. Loving kindness, generosity, patience. These are all forms of chesed. And chesed is a distinguished word in Torah. It is a beautiful word in Jewish tradition. We find it in the Siddur, in the prayer book. We find it in services. We find it in the book of Psalms and elsewhere in the Tanakh, in the Hebrew Bible. And like other forms of love and generosity and kindness, chesed begins with the loving kindness in all its forms, the patient, the generosity, the understanding that we extend toward our own minds and our own hearts. The more truly kind and gentle and understanding we are with our own experience, with our own limitations, with our own errors, the more kind and loving and gentle we will be with the limitations, the errors of others, the more love that we have for our own minds and hearts, the more love we will have, the more chesed, the more ability to respond actively to the lives, the loves, the hearts, the minds of others. See what it's like to imagine opening your heart to a flow of this generous, loving, kind energy. Let this spirit of generous love and kindness flow into your heart with each in-breath. And with each out-breath, with each exhalation, let go of any judgments. A thought may arise, well, others deserve chesed, but I don't. Just recognize those as thoughts that have no substance and let them go. Again, breathe in chesed, loving kindness, and breathe out whatever is not in service of this embracing, tender, loving goodness and kindness. So let's keep our attention on this experience of breathing. Just being with the physical sensations of the breath, and we'll stay with our breath, taking an interest in our breath, being curious about each individual inhale and exhale. We'll sit in this way with our breath for the next minute or so, and if you suddenly notice that your mind has drifted off somewhere else, that is part of the process. It is what is, as it were, supposed to happen. It's fine, and just exercise your own kavanah, your own intention by coming back to your breath. And now we're going to do some singing together. This is a lovely little tune. It's based on a passage from Talmud, and it was written by a rabbi known as Menachem Creditor. And it is called Olam Chesed Yibaneh, which is understood to mean a world will be built from love. And we'll go like this. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, lai, lai, la, 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 lai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, lai, lai, la, 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 lai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, lai, lai, la, 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 lai. Olam chesed yibaneh, yalalai, lai, lai, la, 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 la. And then there are these English words. I will build this world from love. Yalalai, lai, lai, la, 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 la. And you must build this world from love. Ya la 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 la. For if we build this world from love, ya la 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 la, then God will build this world from love. Ya la 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 la. One more time. Olam chesed yibane. Ya la 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 la. Olam chesed yibane. Ya la 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 la. Olam chesed yibane. Ya la 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 la. Olam chesed yibane. Ya la 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 la. Alrighty. Whenever you feel that you are ready, going to invite you to just let your eyes uh, open in your own time. Once again, welcome to everybody who's here and to everybody who will join us later. It's great to have you. So, the reason, the connection of thinking about, sitting with, and even singing about chesed, loving kindness, is that we have just entered into a special time of year in the Jewish calendar. Um, there was and is a custom, and it dates back to agricultural times in biblical days in the land of Israel, of bringing a measure of grain, and the measure was called an omer, of the early harvest, the early spring harvest, which would be barley probably in Israel at that time, bringing a measure of grain, an omer, to the temple every day as a way of not only saying thank you for the harvest, but also a way of counting a series of days, because the Torah says that we are to count the days from Pesach, and this was taken to be the second day of Passover, to out to 7 weeks, 7 times 7 days, 49 days, right? Uh, and then we get to the 50th day, and we have a holiday called Shavuot. Shavuot means weeks, Weeks. So that refers to the counting of the 7 weeks. Because the number seven is significant in the Bible, and particularly significant in terms of Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, the mystical tradition in Judaism assigned one of seven divine qualities. These are called sphirot, or spheres, or emanations, if you study this literature. Um, there is each one of these sphirot, these divine attributes, as the Kabbalists understand it, is assigned to each of the 7 weeks of the counting of the Omer. There's more to it than this, but we'll just say now, in the interest of time, that the theme of this entire week of the counting of the Omer that we just entered into is chesed. It is loving kindness. Um, and by focusing on these qualities like loving kindness this week, um, this was almost in a Musar kind of fashion, although before Musar came into existence as we know it. This was an almost Musar-like exercise in cultivating these attributes within ourselves, each one a different week. Um, where it gets really interesting with this period of the counting of the Omer is that because each of the qualities, each of these sphirot, these divine qualities, is understood to contain all of the others, right? Each one contains the other six. We do sort of permutations and combinations. So, for example, the first day of the counting of the Omer is called the Chesed in Chesed, the loving kindness in loving kindness. In other words, the deepest kindness that we can imagine. Then we take the other qualities, like there is a quality called Gevurah, which can mean might or heroism, but in the Kabbalistic system, it means boundedness or restraint or discernment. And so, with the second day of the counting of the Omer, we meditate on the Gevurah Shebechesed, the Gevurah which is in Chesed, the sort of restraint or discernment in loving kindness. And so it goes with all the combinations. So, To get back to simplify this, during this week, you might notice loving kindness, acts of kindness and love, and how they touch you in your life this week. And because we meet once a week, we'll talk next week about Geburah, the next of these attributes, and so on down the line. All right. In any event, we are through our time here. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful week. Happy Pesach, and we'll see you maybe on Shabbat. We'll see you, if not, then the next Monday. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. Have a good day.